God himself is choosing to give this land to Abram and his descendants, the land of Canaan, which would later be known as the land of Israel. So God is giving the land of modern-day Israel to Abraham and his descendants. And note that he's giving them much more than just land. He's giving them himself. He tells Abram, I'm going to be their God. That's covenant. I'm giving you and your descendants a land, and I will be their God. But with that established, who will Abram's descendants be? What line will they come from? Look down at verse 17. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born to a man who's 100 years old? Shall Sarah, who's 90 years old, bear a child? Next week, I'm gonna preach a sermon titled Laughing at the Impossible. And we're going to cover Sarah's laughing at God in Genesis 18. Right here, we kind of see Abraham doing the same thing, laughing at the impossible. God asked Sarah next week, he asked a great question. He said, is anything too hard for the Lord? Me who spoke the galaxies into existence, can I not make you pregnant if I want you pregnant? He's just laughing. He fell on his face. Now he's fallen on his face, not in worship, but really in irreverence. He's laughing at God. Abram said to God, oh, that Ishmael might live before you. Then God said, no. Sarah, your wife, will bear you a son. You shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his descendants after him. So we see in these verses that Abram's reaction to God telling him that his old wife Sarah is going to bear a son is just a laugh. He laughs at it. It's impossible. He pleads for Ishmael. He says, let Ishmael live before you. Let Ishmael be the promised child. He's trying to offer God his plan. Look what I did in the flesh. Take that. Bless it. Make it the promise. But God says no. God says no. God says my covenant will not be produced by what you birthed in impatience. My promise will not ride off the back of your shortcuts. My purposes are not fulfilled in natural strength. So he rejects Ishmael as the covenant child and chooses Isaac instead. Now I want to be clear, this is not favoritism, but this is election. This is not personal preference, but this is divine prerogative. God is showing Abram and he's showing us that he decides how the promises are going to be fulfilled. Thank you. He decides how the promises are going to be fulfilled. He decides who the seed's going to be. He decides who the covenant is going to belong to.